So, what if an AI was so good at breaking software that it actually forced the world's biggest tech rivals, I'm talking Apple, Google, Microsoft, to call a truce? Well, that's not science fiction. It is happening right now, and believe me, it's kicking off a brand new high-speed arms race in cybersecurity. You know, this quote from CrowdStrike CTO just perfectly nails the new reality we're in. The time between some flaw being found and a hacker using it to break into our systems, it's gone from months to just minutes. The entire game has changed, and the stakes could not be higher. Let's break down how we got here, and what this crazy new threat means for all of us.
Okay, so to really get what's going on, we first have to admit a really fundamental truth about our digital world. Everything we count on, from our banks to our web browsers, it all runs on software. And pretty much all of it is built on a shaky, flawed foundation.
I want you to imagine our whole digital society as this giant, gleaming skyscraper. From the outside, it looks totally solid, right? But what you can't see is that its very foundation is just riddled with these invisible cracks. And those cracks, well, those are software vulnerabilities. Bugs and mistakes in the code that have been sitting there, dormant for years, sometimes even decades, just waiting for someone to find them.
And listen, this is not a small problem. These cracks are literally everywhere. They're in the operating systems like Linux that run the world's servers, they're in the browsers you're probably using right now, and they're even in the software that controls our power grids. It's a massive systemic risk that we've all just been living with. Until now, that is.
So what changed? What's the big deal? Well, a brand new player just stepped onto the field, an AI from a company called Anthropic, and it has this frankly unbelievable new capability.
Let me introduce you to Claude Mythos Preview. Now, the really wild part is that Anthropic never meant to build a master hacker. Nope. They just trained it to be exceptionally good at understanding and writing computer code. But, as this kind of crazy side effect, it also became incredibly good at finding all those invisible cracks we were just talking about.
So, just how good are we talking? Well, its first big discovery was a critical bug in OpenBSD, which is known for being one of the most secure operating systems on the planet. This bug had been hiding in plain sight for, get this, 27 years. Generations of human experts missed it. Mythos found it.
And oh, it gets worse. Mythos then found a 16-year-old flaw in a super popular video software that's used in countless apps. But here's the really scary part. The exact line of code with the bug in it had already been scanned by our best automated tools 5 million times. And they missed it every single time.
But you know, finding individual cracks isn't even its most powerful trick. The real game changer is how it can automatically link multiple smaller flaws together to create one single devastating attack. I mean, it can chain 3, 4, even 5 little bugs to take complete control of a server. This is a level of skill that used to be only for the most elite human hacking teams. And the numbers just prove how big this leap really is. On a standard cybersecurity test, Mythos scores over 83%. The previous best AI model, it was down at under 67%. So this isn't just a little improvement. We're talking about a completely different class of capability, a whole new league.
And this is exactly where the story takes a very sharp, very dark turn. Because a tool that is this good at finding flaws is, by its very nature, also a terrifyingly effective weapon for creating attacks. It is a double-edged sword of, frankly, staggering proportions. This right here is the question that sent absolute shockwaves through Silicon Valley and all the way to Washington. When the ability to find and weaponize critical vulnerabilities becomes this easy, this cheap, what in the world happens to our already fragile digital lives? Think about it. The economic barrier to launching elite cyber attacks has just been completely shattered. What used to take highly paid teams of experts and months of painstaking work can now be done automatically, in minutes, for less than $50. All the friction, the time, the money, the skill that kept most bad actors out, it's just gone.
And the top industry leaders, they all agree this is a point of no return. As Cisco's chief security officer put it, there is no going back. Our old ways of defending ourselves, of hardening our systems, they're just not going to cut it anymore. We've crossed a threshold, and the race is officially on.
So how do you respond to a threat that big? Well, you do it by forming an alliance that nobody ever thought was possible. And this is where something called Project Glasswing enters the picture.
So Project Glasswing is basically Anthropic's answer to this whole double-edged sword problem. Instead of just releasing this super powerful AI into the wild, they're giving it exclusively to the defenders first. The whole idea is to give them a critical head start, a chance to find and fix all those cracks before the bad guys can use the same technology to exploit them at machine speed. And who is involved is just as important as what they're doing. We are talking about Apple, Google, Microsoft, and Amazon, companies that are usually the fiercest competitors on the planet, all sitting down at the same table working together. The fact that they've all put their rivalries aside, that should tell you everything you need to know about how serious this threat really is.
You know, ZDNet described this as an AI-driven cybersecurity Manhattan Project. And honestly, that analogy just captures the scale of this thing perfectly. This is not just another industry working group, it's a high-stakes, frantic effort to win a race for the security of our entire digital world.
But even with this incredible tool and this historic alliance, the final part of our story reveals a new and very, very human problem. You see, the AI race to find the flaws has been won, at least for now. But a new race has just started, and its biggest bottleneck is us.
The problem is just staggering. In its first few scans, Mythos has already found thousands of new vulnerabilities. Now guess how many have actually been patched and fixed? Less than 1%. This is what they're calling the 1% problem, and it shows you exactly where the new front line in this war is being drawn.
This new pipeline shows exactly where the logjam is. Step 1. The AI discovers flaws at machine speed, lightning fast. But then it hits a wall. Human speed. Totally overwhelmed teams have to sort through thousands of bugs, developers have to actually write the patches, and then those fixes have to be slowly rolled out to millions of systems. We have accelerated the discovery part, but the repair part, it's still stuck in the slow lane. And that brings us to the final, really uncomfortable question. Project Glasswing has given the good guys a head start in this new AI arms race. But with competing AI models getting smarter every single day and this huge backlog of unpatched flaws just sitting there, the real question is, for how long?